Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Football Manager 2019 with Zebu Nation, and here we are once again, FC Cincinnati. We're getting ready for the 2021 Preseason Spectacular. That's right, we're going to keep rolling, we're going to keep on going through the seasons. The real MLS season starts up in about a week, so, we got a lot of things to think about, but I'm pretty sure I'm just going to keep rolling on with this save unless something catastrophic happens. And, touch base with the real MLS season here and there. I think Cincinnati, FC Cincinnati that is, it's their first season in the league. I think they've made some good moves this season. I like their draft picks. I liked some of the players they brought in. They brought in, a lot of speed into the team, which I think is very good. Anytime you move up to the next level of competition, you want to get bigger, faster, stronger, and I think they've done that. So I don't think they've made quite the big, powerful moves that like Atlanta United made, but they didn't quite stand as pat as, say, Minnesota did. So I think they'll finish somewhere between Minnesota, Atlanta United. So, they got a chance to make the playoffs this year in the Eastern Conference. We'll see. But anyway, forgetting about that reality for a minute, let's dive into this reality where we've just finished a very successful 2020 campaign, won the U.S. Cup, won the MLS Cup in 2020, so that was outstanding. And now, gone through the whole offseason, it's been not a very exciting offseason. That's why I didn't bother showing too many videos, just going to encompass all of it into one, because we didn't do a heck of a lot. We re-signed a bunch of contracts and, kept most of our team intact. So not a lot happened. Now we can take a look at the coach here. 27-year-old now, Zebu Nation. Stats are looking pretty good, or attributes are looking pretty good. Attacking, defending, fitness. So coaching people up pretty well. Tactically, 13 is okay. Man management, motivating also. So slowly improving, getting better with time and experience. It's always good. Career stats. Take a look at these. One coaching job. Haven't been the national head coach yet. I like to be the national head coach, but maybe not in this save. I don't know. Career earnings 1.5 million. That seems low, but we'll get some pay raises going on here. Let's see. Played 94 games, won 53, lost 27. I'd say that's pretty good. A 56% winning percentage is pretty darn good. 195 goals, 423 against, 65 of those in one season. So that's, one bad season, I guess. Anyway, looking pretty good. Got a cup win. A league win, I guess. They're counting MLS Cup as a league win. Sure, why not? No promotions or relegations, of course. Highest fee spent. This is interesting. $750K for Curtis Tilt. Highest fee received, $3.6 million for Michael Barrios. Way back at the beginning of the 2020 season. How much our team changed from then is pretty interesting when you looked at where we were coming into 2020 versus coming out of 2020. Very different team, I think. But anyway, speaking of that, let's go through the checklist. Let's see how the team has evolved over this last offseason. So, first of all, the academy. We did have a youth intake. Not a great intake, though. Not a lot of star players. We had a sort of a flush of all the old players leaving. And so this is our first intake with our new director of youth. And Corey Schultz, the right back, is our best prospect right now. 16 years old. He's got some nice speed and athleticism. Jumping reach is not that great for a fullback. Technically, he's not terrible. 8s in marking, tackling, and heading. It's pretty solid up and down the board for a 16-year-old. He's got some decision-making, determination. He's okay. If he develops, he can be a solid player for us. We got Kevin Wood, a defender, central defender. He's only 5'11", only 9 jumping. He's very good mentally. very brave. But I don't know. He's only 1.5 stars, only 3-star potential. We'll see. Brandon Dawson, 1.5 star, possibly 4-star potential. We'll see. But he's a little better physically. 6'2", nice jumping reach. He's got teamwork, positioning, tackling. Again, a kid who could develop, and that's fine. A few more guys, some strikers. We got 3 strikers. Probably the best is Simon Burton, 16 years old, 13 pace, 15 acceleration as a pressing forward, 10 heading, 10 finishing, 16 aggression, 17 bravery. So, this kid could be a pressing forward. Maybe he could, morph into a target man even. We'll see, but left-footed, so that's always interesting. But yeah, not a tremendous crop at the academy this year, but we have a few guys, and honestly, we don't need any of these guys right away, so it's fine for them to just sit there and develop. Finances. Speaking of developing, we are definitely developing our finances. We're up to $11.7 million in the bank. Even after, a lot of the expenses that we paid out the last couple of seasons, we've managed to keep our bank balance pretty healthy. And, we've been rewarded for that. We've got a new transfer budget, $2.5 million. That's pretty good. New payroll budget, $9.95. I guess they didn't want to click over that last tick to the $10 million payroll, but we're inching up there, and we're using a lot of that payroll. We're using 9.4 of that 9.9 million. So, we're definitely spending what money we've got. Got a nice healthy scouting budget, $795,000. That should last us the year, no problem. We can look at our league specific. These are some very interesting numbers. We're currently $825,000 under the cap because I've spent some allocation money to make sure we've got room there, and we're coming up to the time when we have to register our roster, so I wanted to make sure we were free and clear and compliant and all that stuff. So we got plenty of room in the salary cap. Allocation money. Speaking of allocation money, we have $6.75 million available in general allocation money. We spent $1 million of it this season, so that's what got us so far under the cap. And then targeted allocation, we still have $1.2 million of that. I don't think we have anybody eligible for targeted allocation at the moment. So, we'll just keep it, I guess. We could make some big trades. There's a possibility we could make a huge trade with all this allocation money. That might be something interesting to do, but I don't know that we need it at the moment. So we'll just, keep our finances as they are, looking really good. Board, we're very secure. They are definitely happy about last season's victories. We got 74%. Can't ask for much better than that to start a season off. Hopefully this will grow over the season, and we'll get back to that 100% that we had at the end of last season. No restrictions on scouting, of course. Our owner, Kyle Reed, feels like he'll never leave. That's fine. Everything's fine. Nothing wrong. Club now. Some club news that we have. Is there actual news? No. Sonora returns to full training. He was injured, of course, again in the offseason, but he's back. But our big news on the offseason, our facilities. Look at this. FC Cincinnati Stadium. Training ground is still Xavier University. But we do have a new stadium, even though we can't click on it. Unfortunately, we can't actually see it, but it is a very good stadium. Top corporate facilities. We could improve our data analyst facilities, that's for sure. Great training facilities. But yeah, we'll take a look at the stadium a little later. Oh, there we go. Capacity 25,000. Year built 2021. So just got finished. And it's a nice, cozy 25,000 seat. We could expand it in future years. I think up to like 28,000 if necessary. But we're looking good. We're looking on track to have sellouts in every game. And that's what I want to see. Now, transfers. Like I said, not a busy season, but we did do a few things. So we'll get to our transfer history. So we lost a couple of guys, not anything too big. Hector Juarez and Tony Strong, a couple of our young draft picks who never really sort of panned out. I mean, they were okay. We could have kept them around. I like Tony Strong because of that pace, and he was getting better. He's still available out there if we need him. So same with Hector Juarez. Another guy, he just got, overtaken in the rotation, and there really wasn't a lot of room for him, so we let him go because we needed room for our draft picks. So we had 4 more draft picks this season. First draft pick, Mark Smith, attacking midfielder on the right-hand side. Again, we replaced the Tony Strong speed with Mark Smith's speed. 16 pace, 16 acceleration, crossing, dribbling, free kick taking. So he's a little bit better than Tony Strong. He's not great by any means, but he does have some potential. He's got 3-star potential, possibly a 4th dark star. So, he could do some business for us. And he's only 20 years old, so that helps out. Then we got Mohamed Apia, 21-year-old Ghanaian, valued at $1 million. Again, more speed, 16 pace, 15 acceleration, 13 determination. Not quite the prospect that Mark Smith is, but he's got that speed. He's got technique in passing and long shooting a little bit, crossing a little bit. Again, he was a later round pick, so it's fine. To get a guy like this who's just another speedy winger, it's fine. We could maybe even trade him away for $1 million. He's valued at $1 million. That seems high, but if we get an offer for this guy, we'll definitely send him out. Chris Williams, right/central defender. Guy we needed. We needed a little depth in defense. He's not great. 21 years old. 6'1", 12 strength, 14 jumping reach. He does have 15 leadership and 17 aggression. He's got work rate, tackling. He's a solid tackler. But, again, not a great player by any means. Not really a starter, but just a guy to add depth. And then finally, Patrick Youngs from AC, Connecticut, 21 years old. More speed, 16 pace, 14 acceleration, 15 agility, 13 dribbling. He is a shadow striker. We'll play him as an attacking central midfielder. 5'5", he's a little guy, but he's got that speed and quickness. Decent mental sort of, overall average. Same as his technical sort of overall average. He does have a lot of deficiencies in his technical abilities, though. So again, it just wasn't a great draft. I'll be honest with you. Not a ton of superstars out there in the draft, so we didn't really get much out of it. But that's okay. We didn't really need any high impact draft picks, so it's not the worst thing to ever happen. Trades, we did make some trades. Traded away some of our secondary people who were, wanted more playing time than we could offer them, starting with Marky Delgado. Traded him to FC Cincinnati for $2.7 million in general allocation money. That's where a lot of our general allocation money came from that we have. I mean, it's a fine deal. We didn't need him. We barely used him at all last year, so good luck to him at FC Dallas. Then we traded our 4th round pick away to Atlanta United for $90,000 in general allocation money. That's fine. Then we traded Curtis Tilt. 29-year-old central defender, a guy we picked up last year as sort of a insurance policy at central defense. He played well for us. Take a look at his history here. Played 17 games, 6.98 rating. I mean, that's solid for a defender. It's not like amazing, but it's solid. We did pay $750K for him. Again, he was kind of a panic buy, but I like to look at it as an insurance buy. But anyway, traded him away to San Jose for a 2nd round pick, a 4th round pick, and $50,000 allocation money. He had started causing some trouble in the locker room. at the end of last season and then at the beginning of this season again. So we just got rid of him. And adios, sayonara, see you later. So, that's basically it. What happened over the offseason. Not a ton going on. Take a look at our competitions here. The board is expecting us to reach the conference finals. So that's, always... It's always a crapshoot when it comes to the playoffs. You never know if can you reach the conference finals or not. One bad game can knock you out. So, it's always a question there, but I'm still confident we can do that. Finish around the top of the league in the Supporters' Shield. I don't have much fret over that. I think we're going to be able to do that no problem. North American Champions League. Look at this. They want us to reach the quarterfinals. That's a bit ambitious, but we'll see. I think, honestly, we just have to win one game to reach the quarterfinal, or one series to reach the quarterfinals. Anyway, they also want us to reach the quarterfinals in the U.S. Cup. We enter in the 4th round, so I think that's doable as well. So even though we won the MLS Cup last season, I think that all of these things are achievable, so the board hasn't gone out of control, so that's fine. That's about it. Not a lot else to report. We have had some staff movement, but honestly, I don't remember who we brought in and who we didn't. Let's see. I know we brought in Gabriel here, Karamarin, attacking coach for us. 16 attacking, 14 technical, 13 tactical. He's got some determination. Got some motivation. He's got some judging player ability. 43-year-old from Romania. But other than that, I don't really remember who we brought in or who left or anything like that. Joe Max Moore is still here. Tony Miola is still there as the goalkeeping coach. So, some familiar names. One thing we are doing, coaching staff-wise, thrilling as it is we're looking for a second physio. We've only got one physio. So, yeah. I know what we can do. We can ask the board, perhaps, for improved data analyst facilities. Like to improve the data analysts. I have it on good authority that many clubs have superior facilities to us. Okay, I can't pretend I'm not. That's not the hill I'm going to die on. All right. Data analyst facilities. If the club doesn't want data analyst facilities, that's fine. We'll keep our old, Tandy computers. That's fine. All right. So we have a friendly today versus Atlanta Silverbacks. I'm going to show this one, and then Atlanta is our affiliate club, one of our junior affiliates. We can't use them for anything, so we're just sort of paying them money, I guess, for fun. But, we're going to honor the deal. Picking our captains for the season. DeVries and Akechi. Should we put Danny Wilson in there? 29-year-old center defender over Akechi. He's got much better leadership. I think so. That's fine. We are getting a lot of job offers. We can decline those. Let me know if you want me to take a job offer, like overseas somewhere. If you'd rather see me try to struggle through the Premier League or something like that. Could possibly do that. I don't know. But what I found out is that every time I take a job overseas, I play for a few seasons, and then I just end up coming back to MLS just because I prefer it. So, I don't know. All right, let's get to today's game versus the Silverbacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to play all of our second team today against Atlanta. And then next episode, we're going to get into Champions League. We're going to do the 2 legs of the first round of the Champions League. And we'll follow Champions League for the most part. We'll do our our MLS season preview show. And then, we'll sort of get on with the season after Champions League is over. Because we got some unfinished business in Champions League. We should have won it last year. Or we could have won it anyway last year. Going to try to repeat that feat and get to the finals again. And hopefully we can come out victorious this time. So here we are, Atlanta Silverbacks. Not much in the way of game preview. Playing at Atlanta Silverback Park, 5,000 seat capacity stadium. 3,300 have shown up to see the Silverbacks get trounced by this team right here. Of course, our second team. We got a lot of familiar names in there. We got our whole second unit on the bench here. I think we need to make some changes in the second unit. I want to put in. Well, we got a lot of unfit guys, but I want to make sure we have a lot of substitutes on the bench that we can use. Kirisho, Fernando Audio. Okay, yeah, I think. Yeah. Okay. There we go. Submit the team. I think the only problem we had there was we had Stefan on the bench. Don't necessarily need him on the bench for this game. We can let him rest. Oh, look at that. They're going with the diamond formation. That's interesting. You don't see too many teams playing that. Although, Colorado has been playing the diamond for quite a while. And they're playing it again this year. I saw them in preseason earlier this week. And they look pretty good playing the diamond, so we'll see. All right, meanwhile, we have Hudson in goal. He's still on the team. We haven't traded him, haven't gotten rid of him. Yeah, there have been people sniffing around for Stefan. And Stefan does have a buyout. I think he's got like a $6.5 million buyout. So if Stefan does get bought out this season, we're going to need Hudson on the bench. Got Klute at left back, Blackman at right, Kobian, who was out on loan all season last year. He's back with the team. Richards in central defense, Alashe and Richie Salvador in the midfield. Those two actually, they've played together so much in cup competitions and stuff like that. They've got a little connection going on there. We got Wadey, Crispum, St. Duke, and Przbilko up top. So, familiar names, familiar second team names, no problems. Here we are, kickoff. Always fun to go to one of these smaller stadiums. Looks pretty packed. It's a pretty good crowd. And here we are. I mean, I don't think we need extended highlights for this one. We'll stick with key highlights. It can be a shorter video. That's fine. It was a short off-season. I mean, the off-season seemed to just fly by this year. Probably because, playing in MLS Cups takes you all the way to December. So it doesn't leave you with much of an off-season. Okay, here's the first highlight. Blackman out wide to Klute, who sends one in. Oh, boy. Clearance goes awry. St. Duke nearly dribbles one in. That was a bit nervous there for Atlanta. Our players didn't show a lot of fervor there, that's for sure. They didn't really attack those rebounds. But, I think we'll have more chances. Crispum back out to Klute on the far side. Tackled, but he gets it back. Klute tackled again. He's just being swarmed over there. And now here's Atlanta trying to start a counterattack, but nope. Richards is there to steal it at midfield. Alashe is going to try to settle it down. Crispum sends one out wide to Wadey. Great pass. Great, goal. This is some nice footwork by Wadey. He managed to bring that pass in. It was a sharp pass from Crispum. Watch this. Right past the defender. Great touch. Then he drops it back, heads it, or crosses it to Przbilko for the easy header. That, some impressive moves from Wadey. Wadey's just a really good backup. I don't think he'll ever crack the starting lineup, but he's just solid dude out there at left wing. He is still pretty young. He's 24 years old, but he can come in, do some corners, some crossing, teamwork, work rate, technique. You saw that technique on display right there with that touch. He's got some leadership, a lot of leadership. So he's a glue guy, you might say, a locker room guy. Crispum takes the shots. He does his Acosta impression there by just getting the ball on the right foot, taking it to that spot, the top of the key, top of the semicircle, or the base of the semicircle, I should say. That was sort of a long touch, but it got him a lot of space, and bam. So I don't know what we can learn from this other than, our second team is getting better just the same way our first team is getting better. These guys are improving year by year. Young guys. I'd like to see some more out of St. Duke this year. He's a prospect who's just sort of on the edge right now. I think he's 21 or 22. There's Wadey down the near sideline. Crosses another one in for Przybylko. Off the crossbar. Richie Salvador, though, recovers the rebound. That's it. So St. Duke, he's a young prospect, 21 years old. He's got some potential. But he's got to start improving his training. He's got to start getting better because he still has a lot of holes in his game, especially technically and mentally and physically. I mean, he's got holes. He's got some bright spots, but he also has some holes. Przybylko, another one off the post. Here's Wadey again with a corner. Using that ability, gets one. There's a foul by somebody. Is that Borchian they're calling it on? Yep, Przybylko will take the PK. Why not? Big number 20 steps up. Scores easily. There's our third goal. That should salt it away 35 minutes into the first half. Boop. So, halftime, we can probably take the boys off the attack. I mean, we could probably take them off the attack right now. Might as well. Crispum with 8.1. Przybylko, 8.5 and 2 goals. He could have 2 more. I mean, he had 2 more that hit the woodwork that were wide open. Kobian is a little complacent. Alashe is disinterested. And now injured. Kobian clears one out to Richards. Okay, drops it back to Hudson. Looks like they're pressing forward now. That leaves them open to a counterattack. Przybylko to Wadey. Wadey's got a foul. You know what? What's Wadey's penalty taking? 6. I'm going to let Wadey take the penalty. He earned it. We could have let... Oh, no, Przybylko, he's taking it. He's taking it. He's like, I want my hat trick. That's hilarious. Okay, that's fine. I must have misclicked the wrong button or something. Or he just overrode my coaching. It's like, nah. Nah, son. I want a hat trick. There we go. Okay. So that's fine. We're going to be taking Przybylko out at halftime anyway. Same with Alashe. That's not good to get an injury like that going into our Champions League game. He's not starting this season. He could be a starter for us, but he's not starting this season. I don't know if Philippe is going to be our starter this year. We're still working on our midfield a little bit. And the midfield is a little thin again this year, especially with some of the guys we traded away. We're going to bring in Hembut at striker. Not target man. Advance forward. So, that's a move we could make at some point, is bring in another midfielder, especially another defensive midfielder, especially if there's a Segundo Volante out there. Could maybe bring that person in. And if we had to get rid of a few midfielders to bring in like a great Segundo, I'm fine with that. That can happen. I just don't want to break team chemistry. That's something I was very cautious of. Is there anybody else we want to sub out? Nope. Nope. Okay. I was very cautious this offseason of not breaking team chemistry. Making sure we had our team leaders signed up. Making sure I didn't try to, offer guys out, who might get mad. We still do have a couple of guys who are not happy. Alashi is one of them. He's still not happy from last season that he didn't get to play as much as he wanted to. Hudson is another. But I think we can survive those two guys because they're not that influential, so it's not that big of a deal. But for the most part, other than that, I wanted to keep the team intact and happy and ready to go because we have the early season Champions League. You can't be messing around with team chemistry and bringing in a bunch of new guys. Maybe you could bring in one or two big-time players and let them work into the rotation, but if I was going to try to work in 5 or 6 new starters, I don't think that would work for Champions League. So we're going to go with what we got, go with what got us Champions League last year, and just hopefully that this team is on the upward trend, not a downward trend. Because, we're a young team. We should be getting better every year until a certain point we reach our plateau. And we'll see what that plateau is, and then we'll, rebuild. But hopefully, we're not a team that's going to reach that plateau and start going down. Maybe some of the other teams in the league or in the Champions League might do that. You got to hope that some of those Mexican League teams are getting a little older. Maybe they haven't quite replenished their roster with big stars or anything like that. Maybe some of their younger players haven't developed or gotten enough playing time to develop. That's what you can hope for. And that eventually we'll overtake them, or at least, our crests will be at a point when they're, down at the bottom, or at least rebuilding. That would be good. Teams. Ooh. Just why. Teams at the top of the Mexican League division. If some of those teams could, hit a little bit of a downward slope at the right time, we could sneak in there. So there we go, 4-0. We took the old foot off the gas. Still finished 25 shots, 11 on target. They had 4 shots, none on target. 50% possession though. They made a game of it. 22 fouls. They weren't going to be out there and get pushed around, but they really had no shot. So there you go. There's a look at our backups. Backups are still doing good, still strong enough to beat lower division teams pretty easily. Alashe's injured 9 days to 3 weeks. So that's going to put a little bit of a hole in our lineup here. If we take him out of the second string lineup, who do we got? Who do we got? Not a lot. Defensive midfielder. I thought I said get out of here. I thought I said get out. Did I clear the wrong position? No, I just missed. Okay. Anyway, we let Akugo go, but it doesn't show here. Anyway, we let Akugo go. We could pick him up, perhaps, back up off of waivers. I don't know. We got some decisions to make at defensive midfielder. We need a reserve there. We don't really have one. So, it's going to have to be Philippe. Is going to have to be, but Philippe is suspended. Oh, no. Okay. So, Philippe is suspended. I did not know that. He must have got suspended in last year's Champions League, and he's going to have to serve it out this year. Okay. We might have to go with just two midfielders and no Segundo. Oh, man. I don't know. All right, we'll figure that out. We'll figure something out between now and a week from now. When we play Alajuelense. Now, Alajuelense not the greatest team in the world. Quick preview here. They're not great. So we should be able to beat them with no matter who we put in there. But still, we need to... Depth at defensive midfield is an issue. Maybe we'll take David Guzman from them. He looks pretty decent, actually. Only 10 pace, 31 years old. No thank you. But we need a guy like that. We need some sort of reserve. Anyway, that's going to be it until next time when we come back for first and second leg of Champions League. And then the MLS season preview. So until then, until next time, we'll see you later. Bye-bye.